You guys have been asking for more on the Clarity Act. Well, it is at a breaking point now. We're going to break it all down for you. We got a lot of clips that you guys are going to love. It's going to be hot. Let's go into it today. I do want to thank our sponsor. That's iTrust Capital, where you guys can get into your own crypto IRA. You can also participate with gold and silver in your IRA. Self-directed, so very easy to manage for you guys that are out there and like that. And the other thing that you get to do with iTrust is that you have a ton of selection here. So if you're not a Bitcoin guy or you're not an Ethereum guy, maybe you're a Solana person or a Cardano person, you have all of that available in iTrust, where you can put that in a crypto IRA, start utilizing it as an IRA, get all those tax benefits, and of course, get started right now. Get a $100 funding reward to go and use our link down below. It does help us out. All right, let's go over to a couple of points I want to lead off with. This, of course, was Senator Lummis. She basically states here that we have the momentum. What we need now is action before the opportunity slips away. I am of the mind that this may have already slipped away. I'll explain that in the sense, because there is a very key and critical thing that has happened today, and that is the Senate Ag Committee has passed their bill through, and I think this will be the next step, or not completely through. They presented the bill where the Democrats can take a look at it. And of course, here it is right here. The Senate Ag Committee just unveiled its latest version of the crypto market structure text. This comes from John Boozman, who is one of the guys writing this up. They have been building all around this, and it's scheduled for Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see if the markup actually works. That's next week coming in. Other point I want to hit on right here was what they said here. The new draft has not been shared with Cory Booker yet. Democrat Cory Booker, who is the negotiator, and is not expected to have his sign-off. So that is going to have to take some time getting through Booker. I don't know what is in this bill that is going to cause Booker to maybe decline, but we're going to be watching this one very closely, because it may actually be closer to approval than the Clarity Act, the market structure bill. So very interesting. Here's the way it works, though. If it gets over 60 Senate votes, then boom, you're done, which means there's no shortcut around that for anyone right now in terms of getting this through and in place. And maybe if Clarity gets delayed or possibly even sidestepped, does the Senate Ag bill, which is much more narrow, actually become the new Clarity structure that everybody's been looking for? Here, of course, was the DeFi Education Fund, Amanda Tumelo and her team, breaking this down. And they break down a couple of points here. The committee and its staff, right now, I want to thank them for including a robust developer protections in Section 207. What that simply means is if you're building in DeFi, you are not going to be responsible for somebody using it in a bad faith way. So that was one of the key things, and still is one of the key things, that I think busted up the potential of the current Clarity Act to get through. It was one of the key things outside of stablecoin yield and other areas around privacy, self-custody, well, mostly everything you can imagine. But here was Paul Graywall coming in from Coinbase, and he's talking about this very issue. There's still work to be done, but there's a strong foundation here for both Republicans and Democrats to build on. This is positive news, because this tells me that maybe Coinbase is behind this one in terms of the Senate Ag bill, and this could maybe get some legs underneath it, pending, of course, we do get some alignment out of the Democrats for this. Another thing that plays into this is, and I think this is one of the key things, the bill omits any regulation of stablecoin yield as that fits under the jurisdiction of the banking committee. So there you go, guys. This is the one to watch. That's, of course, done by MetaLaw, breaking this down pretty well. And remember, James, MetaLawMan, is a former securities attorney, I think 20 plus years, so he knows and understands how this stuff works. Meanwhile, you look at the Clarity Act, and it is currently in a therapy session. No real progress, so the best option here could be the Senate Ag bill. And this may actually be the one that actually is going to get the approval by the crypto industry. So watch that. We'll have a lot more for you guys, breaking this one down a little bit more.
When you look at the bill in whole, it is so good for the industry to move on. You'll do that, and then you'll come back and try to fight that in round two a couple years later.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the enemy of progress is the search for perfection.
I'm positive if I took the bill as is and the bill that we want in 4 years' time and gave you both, you wouldn't remember which one you voted on.
Yes, I would.
So you're like the foreign company,
yes, I would.
take all the spread off your stablecoin, a United States stablecoin. That's so counterintuitive to me. I can't like see straight.
What? You're not taking all the spread? Come on, how is Coinbase doing this? They're out there utilizing. I don't get this, guys. Come on, let's just level a playing field. The banks come play in the same sandbox that Coinbase plays in their own business, crypto, okay, and deal with stablecoins. And if flight of capital is going to happen, which, by the way, let's just be real, flight of capital is about to happen anyway, because we are seeing a whole next generation come in, and they're not going to play these games. So, of course, think about not playing games. Well, here's Charles Hoskinson. He actually is not playing games. Take a look.
On the flip side of that argument, folks are saying if we don't have legislation, the same thing could happen with Gensler. How do you respond to that?
Gary Gensler didn't have the law behind him, which is why he was losing lawsuit after lawsuit. So you have much worse Scary Gary, because he automatically wins every single lawsuit and he can sue every single person in the industry and damage all the liquidity in the industry. Also, the way the bill is written is it's a love letter to the banks. It's going to result in hyper-centralization of the industry, and the follow-up act through rulemaking is to ban non-custodial wallets. If they wanted some data points on what we should do, maybe the crypto czar, when he came into power, he should have asked the industry. I didn't get a questionnaire. Coinbase didn't get a questionnaire. Consensus didn't get a questionnaire. No one asked. It was instead cut $1 million checks to us, and then you're going to be invited to our parties, and you can figure out, if you're in or out. And people say, oh, Charles is just sour grapes. No, I just don't like corruption. I fucking hate corruption. I really do. And I will not accept the U.S. government telling me that to pass legislation, you have to bribe people. This is for the American people, the American industry, and the 55 million people who hold cryptocurrency. So all these people that are cutting huge checks, they're first on the subpoena list.
There you go, guys. I mean, this is the kind of pressure. I don't know that D.C. was prepared for all of this laundry to be aired out in the open and see so many people that are so passionate about these issues. I think, obviously, self-custody, which is one that Charles is talking about, that's a huge issue that would be violated in the current makeup of this bill. So when we put out a poll, I was blown away that the audience actually said, yeah, we would pass the Clarity Act as is. So you would lose self-custody, you would lose stablecoin yield, you would lose DeFi protections, all in the ability for the banks to have their way with this. I just don't understand that one, guys. So I don't know if you understood the question, and that was, what should crypto industry do right now? Pass the Clarity Act as is, or negotiate a risk no bill? I don't know. I'm going to still vote for the guys below. 34.6, negotiate and risk no bill. All right, so to this point right here that is being taken right now, and that is that the White House is still mad at Coinbase. Just to be fair, though, remember, Coinbase and the industry received that bill 48 hours before the vote. So I feel like everybody was kind of bamboozled in the sense of, hey, don't worry, just slide this in front of them. They're so desperate to get this done, they'll sign anything. But in reality, that was not the case. Patrick Witt, of course, came back with this and said, hey, come on, just get this done. We're going to do, this is good for the industry. It's good for the industry. Even though we're basically taking all these freedoms away of the American people. That is the problem I have going forward. So Coinbase, I don't think, is the bad guy here. I think they just simply said, hey, raise the flag. We don't like this and this and this. See if you can solve this. These are the big issues, and it does protect Americans, and it does protect Coinbase. Let's be completely honest. I don't trust Coinbase either. I trust nobody in this. What I trust is simple facts, and that is protect self-custody, protect DeFi, and give stablecoin yields. It's that simple. All right, so let's go to the 3 points that Coinbase, of course, had here. Stand with crypto. You can kind of see the points they're hitting on. Of course, crypto rewards, DeFi, protecting also self-custody, agreed. And then to the point right there is protecting developers under the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. So this all is in alignment. It's an easy list of things that can be done. What I want to know is why the banks not only want the rewards, they don't want you to hold anything, and they don't want you to be able to escape to another system outside the U.S. So it's like entrapment at its highest level of where this is heading. I just don't think this bill is going to make it through. One last thing I want to hit on, and that is that this bill may end up getting delayed all the way into March. If that does happen, this will probably get reduced to maybe not even happening going forward in terms of the Clarity Act. However, The good news is that the Senate Ag bill may actually make its way through and get passed. That's the good news. Think about that. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, and also join our free private member group. The link is in the description.